of believed that the latter half of my life was just going to be a downhill slide, you know. And what's been really beautiful to discover is that in my 50s, and I'll be 60 next year, I am much happier and calmer, and, you know, I've had quite a lot of mental health issues, which I've spoken about. I've never felt, ever, this good as I feel now. I think what I'm just trying to convey is that your life is not over. As an aging woman, there is still so much to look forward to and so many possibilities. I just feel that an older woman is of so much value and completely undervalued. So I was born in Melbourne. I was the youngest of 4. So there was a 9-year age gap between me and the next. And, you know, my siblings used to all joke that, yeah, I was the accident of the family, which I was. But my sister and I got very close later in life.
How close were you with your sister?
Yeah, really close. She passed away from breast cancer about 11 years ago. Yeah, which was, yeah. Yeah, gosh, sometimes when I talk about her, I don't cry at all. And then it's like she's knocking on the door going, hello. When I turned 57, there was a real reckoning for me then. And I've spoken to other people that have lost someone close to them and then turned the age that that person was when they passed away, and they have felt the same. Yeah, there was a real reckoning at that time, and also this real sense of, okay, I need to get things done, because I realised how young she was. I've shared, I call it over-disclosing, I have shared a lot on Instagram and spoken about the periods in my life where I've had deep depression. It is only really in the last few years that I have learned to speak up and say, hey, I'm not doing very well. And it's been so hard, but I've realised that that's the difference between weakness and vulnerability. So I was afraid of looking weak, but I feel okay about being vulnerable. And then what happens is that people go, oh yeah, I understand. You know, my purpose is to just make other people feel good about themselves by setting an example of that, about how I talk to myself and how I live my life, and, you know, the food that I eat and the rituals that I have and the practices and all those things, and just sharing them. I think the older I get, the kinder I am getting to myself, and that's something really lovely to discover. Around the time where and I was talking about the realisation I had around beauty standards, and just going, there is nothing I can do to stop the ageing process. But what I can change and what I can control is the internal dialogue I have and the words I'm speaking to myself. And so really monitoring that has really changed how I feel, not only in a spiritual whole sense, but how I feel about everything that's happened on the outside as well. you know, when I meet women now, we're having amazing discussions. You and I, in 5 minutes, sharing our stories, deeply emotional things. I'm crying. Like, you know, that's what I want to know about women. That's what I want to know. How you feel. I don't care how you look. I feel like, you know, calling someone a superhuman, I think we instantly go to, you know, the strength of a person. And gosh, I know some super strong people in my life that have really survived and thrived and gone through some challenging things and have really learned from that, including myself. And I think it's someone that persists but can also be really gentle with themselves. I think becoming a superhuman I think it's something that happens later in life.